Hey guys, Josh from the Stillverse. The time of this video is about 11:15, time recording this. I've just gotten into from seeing Mandalorian and Grogu at the cinema, and yeah, all round a bit disappointed by it, and yeah, so I thought I'd talk about the film. It's going to be spoiler free, so don't worry if you've not seen the film. I'll do my very best not to spoil any of it for you. And yeah, so I'm a big Star Wars fan. If you're new to my channel, I have got a video where I talk about my steelbooks and I talk about my thoughts on the Star Wars franchise, about how it become a little bit toxic, as well as some of the series that I've seen, some of the films I've seen. So yeah, I love Star Wars. Love the films. Not seen all of the series. I've seen obviously Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, bits and pieces of Clone Wars, Rebels, etc. So I do need to watch a bit more. But the films, I love the films. They are really, really good films. Sequel trilogy is not amazing, but I still enjoyed a lot of elements of them. Same with the prequels, and the originals are just fantastic. So yeah, with Mandalorian and Grogu, I saw it. So I've seen it about a week late, and it's really not busy, and I can sort of see why. So went to see it with my brother. I hadn't seen many trailers for it. I hadn't read about the plot. I hadn't read any reviews. I tend not to read reviews before I see stuff, because I don't want it to cloud my vision. And yeah, it started out not too bad. Lots of good action scenes in it. The score was really good. And then got about halfway through and I just realised that they have no plot outline. They do not know what they're doing. There's no development planned for these characters. There is just nothing. They're just making it up as they go along. I said to my brother afterwards, I said, it feels like that they were just writing it on the go. And I know some films are, but it feels like they were going, let's have this happen, and then let's fill it with that, and then let's throw in this action scene quickly, and then how do we get from here to here? But you feel like you were there with the writers. It just didn't. There was no overarching plot line in this film, which was a shame. I mean, when it ended, at the end, there was you just didn't feel like you'd done anything. It's almost like, try to explain it. It's hard to explain. I mean, it's almost like the Mandalorian episode. So in Mandalorian, if you've seen it, there are the odd few episodes where nothing really happens, and that's okay. Doesn't have to be something to happen all the time. They're just almost like filler episodes, but they're not too bad. They're filmed really well. They have like little moments in them. And that is almost what this feels like, but it's 2 hours long. It works in a series because it's 40 minutes or an hour long or half an hour long. But when you're sat there for 20 minutes, I think it's 2 hours, 20 minutes, 2 hours, 20 minutes, 2 hours, 10 minutes, including credits, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. There is just nothing that holds you in that film, apart from they're showing Grogu, and look how cute Grogu is. Well, that's great. I want more than that. It is a really big Mandalorian episode, which would have been fine if you didn't pay to go and see this film. I feel like what should have happened is they should have just made a Disney Plus film and released it in cinema for a week or two for people who really want to see it at the cinema. And yeah, it didn't wrap anything up. I can say that. It just didn't go anywhere. It just didn't feel like a movie. It didn't feel like anything, and that's disappointing. Like I said, the action scenes were great. The score was really good. Pedro Pascal doing the voice, brilliant. But yeah, I mean, disappointed. Really disappointed. I wasn't expecting it to be a masterpiece, just because for the little flickering headlines that I've seen and knowing that it's flopped, I did not expect it to be a masterpiece. But people were saying that they think it's better than Solo. It's up to you. I do not think it was better than Solo. I feel like at least Solo had some kind of idea what story they were trying to tell, even if it was unnecessary. There was still a storyline in there. There was still a little bit of character development in there. With this, there wasn't. It didn't wrap anything up. It didn't. It. It was a very safe film, and I think the biggest disappointment was, which for me and for many people, was that there's not been a Star Wars film now for quite a few years. I think 7 years, I believe. Might be wrong. I'm sure it's 7 years, or it feels like 7 years. There's not been a film for a long time since Rise of Skywalker, and they brought it back with this. It's such a shame. It really is a shame. The reason why it might have flopped is because I used to work in the cinema. I worked in the cinema for 10 years, so I used to know about promotion. I used to know about, used to get all the posters, the trailers. I also worked in marketing years ago, but I worked in marketing for a few years. And some of the things in that you learn is that you need to obviously get it in people's faces. And I don't feel like it was. I feel like they're all right. They teamed up with people like Burger King. And they also did some Cineworld popcorn products, which a lot of the films do now. I just don't feel like the trailers were that good. And probably the reason why is because there's no story. So it's quite hard to do a trailer when you've not got story. But the trailer didn't give anything. The Super Bowl teaser that they released, some people loved it. I thought it was a big mistake. I feel like it was just a big wasted mistake when you're at the Super Bowl. And you see the odd little poster for it. Especially from what I've seen, I've not seen enough about this film to get it in people's faces. And another issue is that this film. Oh, well, that was. This film tries to stand alone as its own thing. So you could watch it as part of the series, or you don't have to. But the thing is, having Mandalorian and Grogu in the title, people will assume that they've had to watch the Mandalorian series. They would. People would assume that they would have had to watch Mandalorian Season 1, Season 2, Season 3 to watch this film. And if they haven't done, they won't go and see this film. Even though it is trying to be its own thing, it's trying to say you don't have to. People don't know that. I mean, if I would not have gone and seen it if I hadn't seen Mandalorian series, because I wouldn't know the characters. I wouldn't know anything about them. I'd think, what if I spend my money on watching this film and I haven't got a clue what's going on? That is always a thing. Some people don't have Disney Plus. Obviously, Mandalorian was watched by quite a lot of people, but not enough people to pay money and to make cinema money, to make big money. So that's quite a big deal, really. Some people don't know what a Mandalorian is. Some people are Star Wars fans. They might just be casual Star Wars fans. They might not know what a Mandalorian or a Grogu is. They might just have seen the films and not watched any of the series, but they will not go and see this film at the cinema. So that is another big thing. Obviously, the film, like I said, overall I don't think was that great. I rarely agree with critics, but I read some of the reviews after seeing the film, and I agree with them. And that sometimes put people off, critic reviews. The thing is, money's hard. Money's tight at the moment for a lot of people. And there's a lot of films coming at the cinema, loads of films. This is a busy year for cinema. So people spend their money wisely. People will pick the films that they want to go and see and not want to waste their money. You know, we've got Masters of the Universe coming out soon. Even though I'm not a massive fan, I'll probably won't see it, but that is going to be a big film. They've just kicked Mandalorian and Grogu out of IMAX to watch that, so that can be on. You've got Spider-Man coming soon, Toy Story 5, The Odyssey. You've had, what else? You've got all these little independent films that are coming out as well. Obviously this year you've got like Doomsday, and you've got Dune Part 3. You've got loads and loads of films. Scary Movie, Jackass. Again, just loads and loads of films. So you're going to want to spend your money wisely. And if you see reviews that are negative about this Star Wars film, especially after there's been negativity about Star Wars films, the last one, Rise of Skywalker, made a lot of money, negative response from it. Last Jedi made a lot of money, negative response from it. Solo didn't make much money, and it was fairly negative response from it. So yeah, you want to spend your money wisely if you are going to go and see a film. Unless you're like a die-hard, massive, humongous Star Wars fan, then you'll go and see it no matter what. But if you're not, if you have been disappointed with Star Wars films in the past, if you haven't got a lot of money at the moment, or if you want to spend money on seeing different films that you know you'll enjoy, then you're not going to go and see Mandalorian and Grogu. Another thing is that people will wait for it to go on Disney Plus. People will not go to the cinema to see Disney films all the time. Obviously, some films have done well, and Toy Story 5 would do well, but there are some films, again, due to maybe money issues, people will wait until it's on Disney Plus to watch it, especially if they've heard it's like a Disney Plus Mandalorian Season 4 thrown into a film. A lot of people will just wait. Yeah, and also, going back to negativity, Kathleen Kennedy's name's attached to it. It seems to be a bit of a curse at the moment, even though she has produced some good films in the past. Obviously, she's had a track record of having some poor recent films, including Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, which I enjoyed the story, but it didn't do that well. Obviously, Star Wars films, and this is Mandalorian and Grogu, which I know was mostly written by Filoni, and it was directed by Jon Favreau, and Kennedy is exiting. Her name is still attached to the film, and some fans will not see it because of that reason. So that is a problem as well. Yeah, so, I mean, it's a shame because it's just, I don't know. I thought it was going to be a better film than what it was. And another thing is that some people are just sick when they're sick of having so much things at once. Marvel have suffered from this when they just kept pumping out content all the time, pumping out series and pumping out films that weren't that great. They're not doing too well. They just kept going, just throwing it all in people's faces, and people going fed up, bored now. You either make a really, really good film, or I'm not watching anything. And the same with Star Wars, so obviously Phantom Menace was massive, was quite a big success, and had loads and loads of people running to the cinema and queuing and stuff because there hadn't been a Star Wars film for a certain amount of time. Force Awakens coming out years after Revenge of the Sith because there was no Star Wars content apart from animated shows for a very long time. And now there's Star Wars shows all over the place, and some I've heard are really good, and some have been good, and some have been a bit poor, really. I enjoyed Mandalorian series. I enjoyed everything about it. How it's almost like a space western, sci-fi western. Grogu was quite intriguing and stuff, but there is lots of Star Wars content thrown at you, and I think some people want Star Wars films to be that special thing that they go at the cinema and they hear the music, and I feel like there's just too much of it now. I feel like they need to strip it back a little bit. We've got Starfighter coming out, I think next year or the year after, which could be interesting. Ryan Gosling, but we'll see. I think he'll probably sell more tickets than Mando. Pedro Pascal, unless I've missed it, I haven't seen him do as many interviews. I've seen a few from Sigourney Weaver, but not many from Pedro. I know he mostly does just the voice, but he's still the character. Yeah, whereas I feel like Ryan Gosling will probably sell Starfighter quite well. I feel like they maybe should just concentrate on animated series for a while. Just concentrate and focus on really good content. Marvel have started to try and say that they're going to stop doing as many series and stop pumping out as many films every year. They're going to try and do 2, maybe 3 films a year. And that's what Star Wars needs to just shift their focus a little bit. Because the thing is, they lost, with Rise of Skywalker, they lost a lot of people with that. And to come out of a film like this, I feel like they're going to lose a lot of more people. And they need to get them back on board. I mean, one thing I think is that if they wanted to do an episode 10, I like Rey. I feel like they could develop her a lot more. I feel like they majorly need Finn to become a Jedi. They need to do more with that. I feel like they can do in episode 10, but they just need more time to pass. They need people to miss Star Wars and then bring it out. But yeah, going back to waffling, a bit tired now. But Mandalorian and Grogu, there's, like I said, just nothing. For me, nothing happens. Grogu, I feel like Grogu is wasted. I feel like there's no character development. I feel like there's no overall storyline to this film. I feel like it just didn't feel like a film. Action set piece was brilliant. Score was brilliant. It just got, like I said, halfway through, and I just thought, A, how long is left, which is never a good sign, and B, they just didn't have a clue what they're doing. I've got all the Star Wars steelbooks. Like I said, check out my video from before. I've got made my own customs, and I've got a few proper steelbooks. I just don't think I'll buy this one, and that is crazy for me to say that, because I love the Star Wars films, and I just won't buy it. I just don't think I'll buy it. I think what I may end up doing is, down the line, is making my own steelbook with my custom stickers that I make, and just basically making a Mandalorian steelbook and having season 1, 2, 3 and the Mandalorian Grogu film when it's cheap, shove that in there, and then I can have that on steelbook, because I love the series. I probably will watch the series, and the film might work well as part of the series. But I'm hoping they make another season, because if you, like I say, if you see this film, if you watch it, whether it's, I say to wait for it to come out on Disney Plus, but if you do watch it, you might feel the same as I do. You just feel like, I've been watching all these series and I've just watched this film, and there's still, it's not really wrapped up, and I hope they do wrap it up somehow. I hope it's just not been a waste. I think make another season. I think make another season, wrap it up nicely, and leave the Mandalorian and Grogu alone, and leave it at that. So yeah, I might make my own custom. That's probably where I'll go. I'm not going to watch the film anytime soon. I'm not going to go and see it again at the cinema. It will not be in the cinema much longer. It will be on Disney Plus very soon. Trust me, it will be on there very soon. Shame, really. I mean, they did do a cool cup for Burger King. Not promoting Burger King, but the cup is really cool. I bought a meal on Just Eat, and it came with a cup, and I thought, I'll pay the extra few quid. I'll get this cup. And yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I suppose that's one big good thing about promotion. But yeah, so I'll show you the cup at the end of this video. That's how I feel, really. A bit deflated, but there you go. That's what you get sometimes. Have you seen it? What do you think? Are you going to go and watch it? What are your thoughts on it? Try and keep it spoiler free if you do comment, because I don't want. I want, if people want to go and see it, I still want them to find out what happens. But trust me, there's not a lot that happens. Thanks for watching. I've waffled a little bit. It's a late night, but thank you for watching. Please give us a subscribe. Please give us a like, and I'll show you my cup at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. So this was some Burger King because I'm a big child, and you fill it out with cold water. It's not a Burger King promotion, by the way. But yeah, you know, I didn't need it. It came in my meal, and I thought I'll pay a little bit extra, see what the fuss is about. It's a pretty cool cup. The cup actually has more detail and more going on than the actual film. Thanks for watching, guys.